there were, yeah, several different areas of my life where I felt like um, a little bit stuck, or almost like definitely that I wasn't living my fullest. And then obviously in terms of my background and, what also led me to you, I guess, to other areas of my life that I really, I guess, just wanted some, help with, or yeah, get unstuck in, were areas of career and life purpose. And then I guess also uh, love, relationships, which the root of it, I'm sure we'll come to that, but it's like, yeah, I guess a lack of unconditional love, or having a lot of rejection, abandonment, fear. So these were the things of my life. I think that probably a lot of other stuff beneath that, but that really led me to a point, enough. I mean, one of the biggest benefits I think out of these coaching sessions, or having done this work with you, is ultimately just not only understanding it on an intellectual level, but really on various levels, internalizing this idea that you really have a choice, and you really, in any moment. I know we were talking about it yesterday, because actually the last session, or the week prior to the last session, was a week where a lot of triggers occurred for me. I mean, I think it was probably the most out of all of them. Like, a lot of, what I mean by that, a lot of different emotions had been stirred up inside of me that came to the surface. And to realize that no matter how much you like act out, or your ego, let's say, and how much, you kind of do things, or things come to the surface which could make you feel unloved or unlovable, or undeserving of love. That's, understanding that at whatever point you are, how messy, no matter how messy life may have occurred to be, you always have the choice to take your power back, to own that, to re-choose, to come from truth and love, rather than old data, or like old familiar patterns. Yeah, on a deeper level, really experiencing and feeling what it means to take responsibility, and that you really are the manifestor and the creator of all your circumstances.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like a victim, oh God, what did I create, but more like a, wow, it's always an opportunity to, like, the power we have to be able to recreate, re-choose, and initially come from love, and be able to really let go of suffering. And that can be, by now, obviously there are moments when it takes a bit longer, but it can really be within a few seconds, or like minutes.
It's empowering to know that we create our reality.
Yeah.
It's empowering to really understand that we are manifesting everything we experience. And initially, there can be some resistance to that. People are like, you're blaming me, or they fall into victim mode, and it's too much of a responsibility. But when we reprogram our beliefs, and we know that we are worthy and we're not here to suffer, then we are totally empowered to create the life that we dream of, right? We don't just have to settle. We don't have to make do with the way things are.
What was so powerful was understanding, first of all, where it's coming from. So understanding where do these crossed wires come. So I guess something, positive with something negative, like where, in the past, where did that experience occur? So in a way, kind of having more compassion to oneself, but then as a, not not having to dwell. I mean, you can release emotions, of course, and have love for yourself, but then this empowering idea of, that you can just change that.
Yeah.
And how to more quickly as well change that, and get out of these dwelling moments, or feeling like a victim, like getting out of that quicker. And because you touched on resistance, I definitely I definitely had a few moments like that. And I think it's super interesting, because it's also the ego wanting, subconsciously, I don't know, somehow wanting to stick to something familiar. But then, as you always say, and I agree, like leaning into that discomfort, and just kind of changing it up, or even having affirmations, returning to truth every day. This experience of having the ego taking a step back is,
Right.
it's
And
something I find very powerful.
I live for that resistance, because every time that we come up against it, we know we're on the edge of breaking through. So, it's not that we're going to live a life without any resistance.
Yeah.
It's that we get stronger each time that we come up against it. Each time our ego spins a really convincing story that wants to keep us safe, that's the resistance, right? The resistance to do it differently. And that's an opportunity. That is an opportunity for our growth. And I see my role kind of with you is playing a part in triggering that resistance, if you like, that point of where you go, I'm stretching that little bit further. Because if we get used to that dynamic, this is what you're doing for yourself, Anne-Marie. This is what you are coming up against your ego on a daily basis, and you are choosing in that moment, no, I'm not listening to that story. I know how it ends, and I'm choosing something different.
Some of the moments where I had most resistance, then I often felt like then after that became like, or the build up towards the resistance, or like a lot of emotions or something like that. Then the phase afterwards was it really felt like another leveling up or something like that, or like a real breakthrough, I guess, and a lot of ease. And in a way it's kind of funny, because I definitely also kind of find or see my ego on a daily basis, even, or small things where I then really choose. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, that's, cool story. I've heard that one before. We know where that goes.
I haven't got all day for this.
The irony is that we try in the society that's so masculine, or driven by masculine forces, or achieving, and especially in cities like London, quick time pressure. The irony for me is we want to do all this so quick, and almost think we don't have time to do this kind of inner work, or to dedicate, let's say, like 3 months to this kind of work. But for me, the irony is, when you do that and you really get in touch with yourself, and that is such an amazing foundation, because I feel like when you come from love and from truth, because of law of attraction, then everything you invite in will, or like coming from that place, as you say so well, with the frequency, that's really where you can manifest, or where you can invite those things you want in your life much better and quicker. So I guess, in a way, this idea of filling yourself up, and then you can give more, attract more, have more abundance, have more beauty. So I think it's such a great investment, or just such a great act of self-love in itself, to want to do that.
It's a gift to ourselves to allow ourselves to move to a place where we can actually just be a magnet for what we want, rather than having to fight for it all the time. We can actually bring it towards us. And I remember in one of our in one of our first I love these little light bulb moments. I love your ambition, and that's what's going to, your ambition combined with this beautiful new way of being in the world is what is going to take you forward, right? Because I'm calling in committed, inspired, determined women, because you've already got a fire in your belly. And then it's okay, can we bring in the feminine and then really be in flow with life? So there was this when we started working, there was this masculine energy of like, how do I get here? What I want to know the path. And so we worked a little bit on time, didn't we? And it's so wonderful to see that you did give yourself this gift of time to lay the foundations, to do the inner work, because it doesn't have to take long, right? If you think about how far you've come in those 3 months, it doesn't have to take long, but it is a necessary part.
Completely. And it just came to me when you were talking about the fire. I think it's so also the almost the switch is that you don't use the fire to work against yourself, which in a way is an autoimmune disease. I feel the body's attacking itself, right? But you use it to work for yourself or
Yeah.
with yourself,
Yeah.
and not against yourself. And I think that, like, inviting the ease, I mean, for me, a big challenge has been to ease into it, to surrender into it, to have patience, and to so I think that is a huge part, and totally, to welcome those even those triggers, all those things. They're opportunities, they're ways that they're obviously there for a reason, so that you can shift it or you can change it, because there's something inside of you that still requires attention or light, so you can change that. And then once, hopefully, I mean, this is how I imagine it, that blockage or that shadow is cleared, or there's light, then there's something else. So it's exciting, because the more you do it as well, you realize and you just experience it works, or how. And also, it doesn't have to be a struggle. I think this is a huge thing. It can be a fun, exciting experience. It can be like, what's happening now.
It's really about a journey of moving from a place of living in fear to living in freedom. And that means that the fear is there, but we are free with it. We are free. You are free to make the choice in every single moment. You're free to decide how you want to feel right now. You are free to heal your body in a single moment, when you decide right now, I am safe and I am well and all is well. And that freedom is limitless. And so many women spend their lives going round in circles of guilt and shame and self-sabotage, and just knowing that you're empowered to go, stop, had enough, we're doing it differently.
Feel like I'm so grateful and so happy to I guess overall just feel a lot stronger. I mean, health wise and everything, and just maybe more self-assured, more in the knowledge and in the knowing that there is, like, just really, there is unconditional love. And even though there may be days where it's challenging, I can use those tools. I'm really living from there, integrating that. So that's really becoming my new my truth. It's just returning to the truth. So that in itself is so empowering. I mean, just knowing I can do that whenever. And also in my relationship, I can definitely see a shift in the way the biggest shift in myself, that I understand that with anyone, it can be a romantic relationship, but also with friends, any other person, any kind of relationship you have, that's a lovely plus. I mean, if that's working out, that's amazing. But the most important thing is really, truly your self-love, and the understanding that you have your own back. It's just so cool. It's just so empowering.
Cool, isn't it?
Really cool. I don't know how to, it's just so great when you just know I can do this on my own,
I can do
enough
this.
with codependent stuff. And exactly. It's in me, or in, anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool being an empowered woman who's choosing for herself. It really fucking is, right? And that's this idea of, like, where does confidence come from? And it's that truth. It's just knowing it in your bones that you've got your back. The universe has got your back. Love is always there for you. You will always have the tools. You can always dig deeper than your ego. Possibilities are infinite. You get what you are. So we continue to raise our frequency, and we just invite in more love, more abundance, more joy, more fun, more cool.
I feel like what I've gotten out of these 3 months with you is so rich in knowledge and experience, and it's just everything quicker. Because you have the sessions, you then do the work on the side as well, and you regularly check in. So for me at least, I just feel like it's been life-changing also in the sense of time, that it's just, I've quicker been able to understand where I have crossed wires, to gain that power and empowerment, to have a better understanding for myself and how to shift things in a much quicker way. So I definitely, for people out there who are like wondering, I think it can really speeden processes up.
Mm.
As we've just discussed, obviously this is in a way even just the beginning or the foundation,
Mm.
but to even acquire that foundation is huge. And you then use this, or you can use these tools for life, and you can just deal with everything from love quicker and feel more empowered. And it just came to me, so that's great. What I also wanted to say is definitely the accountability part. So I think that's a huge benefit of doing the couching. No, not don't stay on the
No
couch.
couching on my one. Yeah.
Speaking of accountability, no, being, having those sessions, and then also obviously, you are really good at just, catching me when the ego kicks in, or like um, that, yeah, the accountability part, the um, being pushed in a way, and obviously a very loving and empowering way, to take those steps, to lean into the discomfort, because the ego and the everything around it is very strong, like the gravity we spoke about it, that can hold you down, and it's so familiar, and it's so easy, so much easier, the path of least resistance, right, to go into those old beliefs, or to go back to the couch, or to, to, I mean, definitely had moments where I felt, oh, I really don't want to do the meditation now. Oh God, no, I want to sit with my sadness now.
I don't want to sit with my
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So it really pushes you, and that's great, because that's what I mean by being able to maybe have such breakthroughs in such a short period of time, because you're going deeper and deeper, and someone is guiding you throughout that period as well. So that can be a huge opportunity to just get to the depth and root of things quicker. And
because let's face it, right, like you said, you'd read loads of books, you had loads of knowledge,
and
it's like, but unless we actually decide I'm going to live this knowledge today, and I'm going to do the work for myself, then it's just knowledge in the mind still. And I relate to that, because I studied for years and years and years, but it was when I decided to get a coach and have someone hold me accountable, that's when things started to move. So I'm just really fucking proud of you. You are an inspiration for any women out there who are feeling stuck, or feeling like they're bedridden with endometriosis, or they don't have a choice over things. You are a testament to say you absolutely do, and it doesn't have to take long. And I'm just so proud of you, and I love you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Love you very much too.
I love you. And